Hey guys, I've really been wanting to make a video about fasting and how I've lost 25 pounds since January and been able to keep it off and keep going. Fasting is something that a lot of people do to either maintain their weight or to lose weight. For me, fasting has made me able to lose weight in a timely manner. So let's get into it. If I keep looking down, it's because I have notes here that I have to make sure I tell you guys everything and don't forget anything. So let's get started. So fasting, you want to restrict your eating window to at least 8 hours a day. It doesn't really matter when, but typically you don't want to eat past 8 p.m. or else you could start gaining weight from eating past 8 p.m. Eating for 8 hours a day or less will definitely promote weight loss. So, unless you're eating crazy meals during that time period, like eating 3 meals that have 1,000 calories in them, then you should lose weight. Typically, I like to keep my meals anywhere between 400 and 600 calories. Usually my meals during the day are between 300 and 400 calories, and my dinner is usually like 500 or 600 calories, unless I haven't eaten all day. There was a study in 2018 they conducted on both humans and mice that showed and proved that limiting your eating time to an 8-hour window was something that would cause you to lose weight. A good time frame would be to eat from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That gives you your 8-hour window. You can really play with those hours however you want. For me, I like to eat from 11 a.m. until about 5 or 6 p.m. Now, if you feel the need that you need to eat after that time, you're staying up late like me. I stay up until about 12:30 in the morning. So sometimes I get really hungry in the middle of the night because I do a second session of cardio, usually at night after my son goes to bed. So, I try not to, but sometimes if I do feel like I need a snack, I'll have something very light. You don't want to have carbs or anything heavy on your stomach before you go to bed, because when you're sleeping, you're not really doing anything to burn off those calories, so it's just sitting in your stomach and it's very hard to digest. People trying to gain weight though, that is something that you could do, is eat right before bed, something with a lot of carbs, like a sweet potato or some rice or some oatmeal. But for someone trying to lose weight, you don't want to eat at night, or if you do, you want to eat something light. So I recommend like pickles or carrots or snap peas or something like that. And if you need to dip it into something, use some mustard or hot sauce, or any like super low calorie sauce you can use. Nothing that's like dense and high in fat. So let's see. Me fasting from 11 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. gives me a 6 or 7 hour window, which means I fast every single day for at least 17 to 18 hours. Okay, so that is what's helped me. I used to be a big snacker at night, and I wasn't losing weight. It was super slow if I was, but once I stopped snacking at night is when the weight loss really started to happen. Now, I also cleaned up my diet. I stopped eating out as much. The only time I eat out is if me and Sam are having a date, or if it's a holiday or something like that, which is not very often. And most of the time, if we do eat out, I try to get something somewhat healthy typically if we eat out, we're gonna get sushi or I don't know, most of the time it's sushi. We love sushi. But if you really want to boost your weight loss, you could do an every other day fast. This is where you're going to restrict yourself one day to where you only eat between 500 and 600 calories. You can either spread that out through your day, or you can fast for your entire day and eat all of that at once, or split between 2 meals. You could have a meal at lunch, say that's 200 calories. It could be something very light, like a protein shake and some vegetables, or some fruit. And then for dinner, you could just have like some vegetables, maybe a light amount of meat. But that's really up to you how you would do that day. But typically, if you're gonna do something like that, you wanna fast as long as possible before you do that. But definitely don't go over 600 calories for that day. And then the next day, you would just be in your same calorie deficit, and you would do your same intermittent fasting, but you wouldn't restrict your calories to what you would be on every other day. So this is something people don't really tend to do because it's hard to stick with. But there was another study in 2018 that showed that people who did the every other day fast and were able to stay consistent with it were able to lose 10 to 15 pounds within a 1 to 3 month period, rather than someone who is just limiting their food to 8 hours in a day, where they were losing between 5 to 10 in that same amount of time. Now, for me, I've lost 25 pounds since January, so that's like a pound to a pound and a half every single week for me. It's a very steady pace for me, and it is sustainable, and I haven't gained any back. A lot of people try to get into fasting and they go into it super hard and they lose a lot of weight, and then they're like, okay, I can start eating normal now. And then they go back to eating exactly how they did before, and they gain it all back. So the thing to remember is, this is a lifestyle. This is not temporary. The fasting may be temporary, but the nutrition is not. You need to be consistent. You need to eat things that are good for you, things that are not so processed. Try to stay away from processed foods as much as possible. The fresher the better. I always get fresh vegetables. If I get frozen ones, it's just because I have too many fresh and I don't want them to go bad. So I get a few frozen ones, but usually that's just like corn or some broccoli. I don't really get any other frozen vegetables. I do like to get the one from Aldi's that's got like, it's like a veggie stir fry. And it's like a Asian Oriental stir fry or whatever. I think it's got like a little bit of noodle in it, but that's besides the point. I need to keep going. All right. But like I said, you can try that. I don't recommend if you're just starting to try to do that, but excuse me, if you have been doing fasting for a while and you want to give that a go, then I say by all means, go for it. I might try it for a 2-week period and see how that goes. It doesn't really sound like it would be that easy, but then again, I don't know, I haven't tried it. But if I do try it, I'll make a video. I'll show you before and after and how much weight I lost if I do this. If that's something you guys want to see, leave me a comment and I will definitely consider it. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, so a more common thing to do is a 5-2 split. That would mean that 5 days out of your week, you're going to be eating normally. You're going to be still eating in your calorie deficit, because you always need to be in one if you're trying to lose weight. And what calorie deficit means is that you're consuming less calories than you're burning. So everyone has a BMR. You can look it up. It's a basic metabolic rate. And that is basically the calories that you need to maintain the current weight that you're at. There's also like a point system for how active you are and all that, but I'm not really sure how that works, so I just simply go off the BMR number. And you want to consume at least 500 calories below that to be able to be in a constant, steady weight loss. That is like how I am doing. That's exactly what I do. So anyways, let me get back to the 5-2 split, and then I'll get back to the BMR. So for the other 2 days, that's when you would be drastically cutting your calories and having between 500 and 600 calories in that day. So you could do it on a Monday and then a Friday, and then the rest of the days you eat normally. Now, I'm not saying you can't have foods that you don't enjoy, because in the long run, if you restrict yourself of every single food that you love because it's simply unhealthy, then you're going to fail. I recently had 2 cheat days in a row. But you know why I did it in 2 days? I did it in 2 days so that it wasn't all the same calories in one day. We had donuts for our anniversary. I had 2 donuts. And then the next day for dinner, we had Indian food, which, if you don't already know, Indian food is severely high in calories, especially their sauces, unless you get it from the store, because the store ones are like a lot healthier for some reason and have lower calories, but the ones that they actually make are super dense. Anyways, so yeah, I did that, and I mean, I also did work out and ran and, you know, busted my ass so that I wouldn't gain any weight from those cheat days. But you don't have to restrain yourself from everything that you love. Just set aside those calories so that when you want to have a cheat meal that you can, and you won't gain weight from it. But that is what a 5-2 split is. That's typically what I do. And if you do the 5-2 split, you can definitely, you will notice a fat loss. You can, in 12 weeks, lose up to 7% of your body fat just by doing a 5-2 split and going off of your BMR. So, I said I was gonna be like 15 minutes, but it's looking like a 20 to 25 minute video. Sorry about this, but I've still got a few things to cover. So now we're gonna get into the benefits of fasting. Now that you know exactly what it does and what it is and how to do it, I'm going to tell you what the benefits are. I am not a medical professional. This is based on my research and, you know, my personal things that I have done this, and this is what I've experienced and what I have researched and found out, so that you don't have to research. You can still research, but this is what I got for you, so listen up. So, fasting gives your body a break from consuming food constantly. It lets your body regulate, you know, your blood sugar, your glucose levels, your cholesterol, all of that. It gives your body time to just relax and really digest everything and really get your system just refreshed. But I've already discussed that. Oh, okay. So, one thing I didn't discuss about eating before bed. Protein right before bed can benefit from recovering faster. So if you've done a major leg workout or a major full body workout, I'm talking using weights and stuff like that, not you're going on a run and I need to recover. Something like intense. It does benefit on your part to have protein before bed. If you want to have a snack, it helps your muscles recover, and yeah, but it can disrupt your sleep pattern. There's been studies saying that eating protein right before bed disrupts your sleep and makes you not be able to get a full night's rest. In some cases, it's also caused weight gain, but everybody's body is different. It depends on what type of protein you consume. There's a whole thing behind it. If you want to know more about it, you'll just have to look it up. Long-term benefits of fasting. Here's what the good goods of fasting are. So, it prevents heart disease in the long run, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and also can fight off growing of cancer cells. So, if you want to be healthy in the long run, fasting is a great way to do that, because of all the things that happen within the hours that you're fasting. So typically I don't go past 24 hours. You'll notice like Chris Gethin, he does a 48-hour fast here and there. I believe he's going to do a 72-hour one if he hasn't already. A lot of bodybuilders do fast, but I'm going to tell you what happens within those hours of fasting. So, and 12 hours into your fasting, your body goes into ketosis and begins to break down and burn fat. So at 12 hours, you're in fat burning mode or getting ready to get into it. You're not severely burning fat, but you're starting to. 18 hours in, your body is in full fat burning mode, okay? You're now producing more ketones and just burning that fat. All right, 24 hours in, your cells are increasingly recycling old components and breaking down misfolded proteins linked to Alzheimer's and other diseases. So basically at 24 hours, your cells are just getting healthier. They're getting rid of all the bad ones and replacing them with good ones. Don't know how true that is. That's what my research says. If it's wrong, feel free to tell me, but only if you know it's wrong. 48 hours in, never been that far, I wouldn't know. I hope one day that I can try that. 48 hours in. Again, hold on. I'm gonna stop right here and say that this fasting is done with water only. The type of fasting I do is just consuming things that are 0 calories. So tea and coffee and water. Sometimes a pickle. That's it. But this, I think it's more based towards a water fast, but I don't know. I would have to look more into it to see if it works on a regular fasting. But anyways, 48 hours in, growth hormone levels are up to 5 times as high as when you started your fast. So I'm guessing at the 48-hour mark, it would probably be a good idea to go do some weight training. 54 hours in, whew, man, if anybody can do this amount of time is crazy. Your insulin has dropped to the lowest level since you've started, and you are insulin sensitive. So basically, you're gonna be super duper tired. When your insulin is low, you're probably gonna be a little distorted, and your head is just gonna be cloudy, and that's just what I imagine at that hour. I imagine it being very miserable. Okay, anyway, 72 hours, you're insane. Your body is breaking down old immune cells and generating new ones. So I guess if you want to take in all of these benefits, it would be good to fast for 72 hours, but that would be really hard. It's hard enough getting through 24 hours, so I commend anybody who can get through 2, 3, 4 days. That is insane to me. Yeah, but there is a lot of studies that have shown that people who do a week of fasting in 1 year, like, they take like a set time during their year and fast for like 5 to 7 days, that they're healthier and leaner. But I don't imagine a lot of people do that unless it's for religious reasons. Let's see here. So we talked about BMR, and we talked about how much less you need to have. My BMR is 1,557. So 500 less than that is like 1,057, and that's about what I eat in a day. So I eat about 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, depending on how hard I work out and just how I'm feeling, how hungry I am that day. But I typically don't go over 1,300 calories, and I am still able to lose 1 to 1.5 pounds a week. It's pretty consistent. So usually it's toward the end of my week where I lose my pound. It's usually throughout the week. I'll notice the decimal goes down a little bit, and then by the end of the week it's down a full pound, if not more. But that is all of my notes. If I didn't answer some of your questions, you can comment below and I will find those answers for you, or if I know them, I'll go ahead and tell you. I'll probably do another video more in depth with like calories and stuff like that, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to get the information for that, make notes for it so I don't forget anything. But that's it. That was a pretty long video, and I apologize, but it was a very informative video for you guys to get into fasting if you need to. One thing that I did not mention is that if you don't need to lose weight, then don't do this, because you will lose weight. So if you're looking to lose weight, you need to lose weight, then I recommend it. It is something that works. I will say, if you're going to do this, you need to very much clean up your diet. If you really want to live off of a Big Mac a day, then I guess you can do that. But I'm just saying, if you want to stay full and be full throughout your day and still be in a calorie deficit, you need to eat foods that are low in calorie but dense. So I'm gonna leave that there, and thank you for joining me. And if you enjoyed this video and found it informative to you and it helped you out, please give it a like. While you're at it, you can just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then if you want to see when my videos pop up, hit that bell, baby. But that's it, and I will see you guys next time.